Good morning. My name is Carmen Elena Ochoa. I'm a clinical psychologist, and today I'm attending an invitation made by Fabiola Contreras to talk about a short issue related to mental health. I have chosen to talk about emotions and words. Epigraph. We are all imagine makers. We all make them all the time, and we project them into minds and hearts of contemporaries. Jonas Mekas, a filmmaker. Emotions are the soul's language. The soul is made out of emotions. Emotions are always present, even when we are doing everyday tasks or purely intellectual dissertations, as I am now. Perhaps I feel scared because I am being evaluated by you, but I could also feel happy because I am passionate about psychology issues and writing. If you don't put your soul into everything you do, you certainly won't be productive or consistent for long, or could become a burden. These ideas are repeated over and over again in social media, in our homes and work, but then they fall deep into an abyss when we pretend to get immediate results. No matter what, emotions are always present. They are the substract of life when we are really alive. They are like a subterranean river, always moving, always deep in our thoughts, our ideas, our relationships, any relationship, and our body. That is why vulnerability is our main condition as a human being, but also our glory, because we can always move to unexpected solutions, alternatives, and creative responses to improve our lives. If we don't allow some space in our psyche for emotions, we can get physically ill, mentally disturbed, and emotionally stuck. Words and images are the mechanism of humankind to approach this dynamic world inside of us. They help us comprehend the significance of our inner message. They guide us throughout our ordinary existence to understand what we really want, independently of what we must do. This is a process that doesn't end and remains all life long because we are always changing. So we better enjoy it. Words are the bridge between our inner world and the outside reality. Then emotions can emerge and be transformed into motivation, behavior, creative work, and healthy living. But words can also seek communication between both entities. We are all connected. No man is an island, said Jonas Mekas again, as if he was a psychologist too. Everyday life presents us a banquet of emotions of our own and those of others. Every day we have the opportunity to get to know ourselves, and contrary to the popular belief, to disidentify ourselves from idolized figures in our life, to become the unique person we are, and still be much more in connection with each other. Acknowledging our differences bring us closer together. We don't need pre-established patterns. We don't need to look like others or speak the same way to be accepted. At least this is not a healthy thing to do. However, in 21st century, we assume rigid positions that separate us. The excessive taxonomy of our human condition in race, religion, genetics, physical traits, gender pathologies, paradoxically has led us to be less tolerant. Psychology, as well as other scientific disciplines, classifies phenomena of study for intellectual purposes. Nonetheless, we shouldn't adopt these classifications literally in our lives, since, since it can affect our mental health. To transform the psyche into life means also to take life as psyche, as a psychology adventure lived for the love of the soul. That is the emotional and imaginal inner world, said James Hillman in 1992. Actually, we speak of controlling emotions, of deciding how to feel, denying the existence of sensitive, broad, and unknown psyche, which instinctually takes its course, whether you are aware or not. Language has been used for selling happiness, I don't think we should talk about negative emotions and positive emotions, but rather speak about emotions revealing aspects of our lives in social, family, or work environments. Maybe if emotion didn't have a second name, positive or negative, this would encourage people to talk more about those hiding emotions which embarrass them or those that generate guilt. These are emotions that make us ill, such as sadness, when they are chronically present in griefs and on significant losses. Immunological or immune diseases appear because emotionality is the biochemistry of the body, and the body also becomes depressed. It's the soul's language speaking through its material existence. Getting encouragement and stimulation is very important to all of us. Without the recognition beyond others, we feel like a stranger, stripped of identity, even in a familiar situation. However, happiness cannot be simply passed on to others or to ourselves. Each person has a different tempo and different personal resources to provide what happiness would mean for themselves. We have to ask, give support, and to wait for others people on time to develop their proper inside tools. We live in a world of illusions, fleeing from reality in which control over emotions is a power and a target for a good marketing. What is desired is sold much more. Reality is the spices because it is often lacerating. We all know that. As a consequence, we miss the beauty that is also contained in our environment, and we can capture it if we are able to contemplate it. It's obvious to mention that it's difficult to answer the question, what is happiness? Each person gives a subjective answer, even if they say the word joy, peace, and some others commonly describing happiness. Feelings are an unique experience. We can experience what joy is, but we will lose sight of this individual subjective complexity of other society. For example, in a newscast, I heard an immigrant talking about how they crossed a dangerous sea to get to foreign lands. He was escaping from his country in war. The journalist asked him why he encouraged this feat, putting his life at risk. Then he replied, I just want to be someone somewhere else and feel that I will wake up the next day alive and that I will be able to have breakfast. Perhaps at that moment, this was the definition of happiness for that man. Now I want to talk a little about the creative aspects of psyche and its relationship with emotions. Again, a good publicist could probably inform us about the main emotions for networks, envy and jealousy in all their ways. On one hand, these emotions can mobilize imitation and to have a better social mask, but yet, when we cannot tell the difference between this social facade and the essence of what we really are, this could be or could mean a symbolic death of psyche, a loss of our individuality. This could be the origin of the most common disorders we are suffering today. Anxiety to the point of panic, depression to the point of despising life, and another disorder very disseminated among young people called the MOFO, the FOMO, fear of missing off, the artificial need to be in places that set the trend, even though you can't make it or you don't like to do it. Envy also leads to aggression. We want to destroy what which confront us with our own impossibilities. It is also a stagnation of the psyche that does not allow us to contact our true resources. This dark aspect of the unconscious psyche exists in bullying behaviors, for example. Someone projects onto others all that they may consider ridiculous in themselves. But envy as well as any emotion, as Dr. Byton says, can be destructive or creative, depending on its effects in consciousness. In a creative sense, envy could lead us to transform the pernicious feeling into an effort to construct ourselves with our own personal ingredients. Henceforth, the importance of being able to put into words what we consider remarkable in others, and in profound thoughts what is adequate for ourselves. At this point, to finish, I just want to emphasize once again the impact that words could have in any relationship, especially if we are dealing with people who are in process of sensitive evolution, like children, young people, and those who are coping with a new experience. It isn't about avoiding criticism. It is about seeing the multiple faces of the human soul and behavior, seeing the whole. Human beings are essentially the same and fundamentally different. Thank you very much.